What's going on, guys? Basically, I'm going to be talking about growing up in a Christian household and how that impacted my time as a baseball player from when I was really young all the way to varsity level. And throughout more research on this topic and diving into really the understanding of it, I've actually realized that there's more similarities between baseball and just religion in general than you'd think. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So on the surface level here, what I'm talking about, if you're not sure what I mean by impacting baseball itself, I'm talking about me and other players always crossing themselves before they get in the batter's box. Jorge Posada on the Yankees always draws a little cross in the dirt before every game. You watch a lot of MLB players wearing chains and or anything to symbolize their religion through neckwear, so crosses or whatever they want. But that's just the surface level stuff. So I'm going to be talking about that and fundamentally what I think makes these two things coincide with each other. So that brings us to the question of the entire presentation, and that is there a deeper connection between these two? I believe the answer is yes. And here's why I believe the answer is yes. First part is what we learned about in class, and that is the sacred place. Now, the sacred place to any team, any sport, any religion, we talked about it in lacrosse standards of them using the field and seeing it as a sacred place, as a gift given from their creator. I would like to argue that the ballpark is similar to a cathedral in that it is the sacred place for baseball. This is because the ballpark reveals a dimension that is beyond the eyes and beyond what we can see. And this sacred place is very similar to that of the lacrosse place, and people gather here to, in essence, come together to almost worship the same thing. And that's where I'm thinking that it's very similar to religion in the cathedral sense. This cathedral also brings in both saints and sinners, and the idea of saints of baseball, and you have guys like Babe Ruth, and you have legends of the field, as well as sinners when you have people who fix the game as players who wrongly bet against it and threw games. You have curses, huge losses with your team, and you have blessings, huge, crazy miracles and wins, maybe winning the World Series that your team would never have seen coming. And you see these same exact things in religion. That's where most of these words are from: saints and sinners, curses and blessings. These are all reflective in religion, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, or any other religion. This brings me to the second very important part of my argument here is the incorporation of the gift economy through both these things. You see the gift economy through baseball, and the way I'm saying that you see it is, while you do buy a ticket and such, the moments of baseball, you can't buy those moments. Those are moments that give you a glimpse of something beyond, similar to that of religion, moments of insane catches or crazy hits, things that you can't pay for, you can't buy and expect to receive. That's all part of the gift economy. It's an exchange of these goods that aren't bought and given back. They're part of what makes it extraordinary and part of what makes it so special. And you can only live through there, being there, excuse me. And these moments bring together a heightened sensitivity throughout the people there. And those that gather in a church or a mosque feel the same way. That's why they're gathering there for this gift economy. They're not buying things, they're not expecting to get something that they've bought and paid for. They're there to receive what makes the beauty of the gift economy, and that's that it's just exchanging and with no expectation, positive exchanging. And that's what you're getting in baseball as well. This brings me to one of my most important points, and that's the part of baseball that is much like religion in the hierophany. And this is technically called a manifestation of the sacred, but what that means is through sacred relics, prophets, and rituals, it further underlines this deeper understanding and connection that people have with this organization or this religion. And you see that through baseball. You have sacred relics. You just look at baseball cards, one of the most sought after items in the modern world today. And I'm showing this example of Babe Ruth's baseball card from when he was on the Red Sox. I'm sure it's worth millions today, and these are considered sacred through not just their what they're worth money wise, but their sentimental value of these relics. That's what they are, and you see the similar things of religion. Countless ancient priceless paintings in the world today that are the same thing. And I would also argue that you'd see prophets in baseball as well. We know the prophets of religion. That's where the word comes from. However, prophets of baseball, you have guys like Jackie Robinson. They're solidified in history as not only changing a game, but changing an entire culture through their actions. They're 100% considered prophets, and that's another similarity I would draw between the two. And in rituals, you see it every time. A seventh inning stretch, the pause in the middle of the baseball game where everyone sings "Take Me Out to the Ballpark." That is 100% a ritual. Not different than in church when you were to take communion. Everyone expects and is ready for this ritual, and they carry it out. And not unlike when people are coming to worship together at a religious institution, they're doing the same at a baseball game, and they expect the same level of rituals every time they go, just the same as a religious. So just like we see history and religion, baseball encourages an appreciation of moments, and I say this because these moments can't be relived, but they can be celebrated, and that's exactly what people gather for, to celebrate these moments in religious institutions, the same as they gather for to celebrate moments that are to come in a stadium. It's the same way. Um, they're solidified in history and they can only be celebrated from then on. And I believe that through that appreciation that people come together, that's how we can understand that there is in fact a deeper connection between religion and baseball, and they share that connection, and that's what's so important to understand.